I want to say thank you to James Payton. He made a point yesterday that, I had already noticed and felt was a valid point. And that was that I shouldn't be calling him names because he's not calling me names. I agree with that, to a point. When it comes to Seth, well, I admire how tenacious he is when it comes to family. Matter of fact, I wish my family gave two shits and was actually willing to do something, but they didn't care. That being said, if my family was as tenacious as Seth, I would hope they would act more like James. Now, I can respect what Seth was doing because James is family. Now, the major issue, James, he tried to do it right. When I was up there in South Dakota, I was actually trying to coordinate with Jamie to go have a conversation with James, and Jamie wasn't having any part of it. Now, James, he said that he would ask Seth to stop. The first time it didn't work too good, but this time Seth has not gotten on to harass me, and I like that. When I asked Natalie to call off the dogs, she could have done what James did and actually call off the dogs. Actually asked them to stop and come to the peace table. There's a big difference between the situation with Natalie and the situation with James. With Natalie, the things that I told her that needed to stop were things that were directly happening to me. It wasn't word of mouth from someone else. It was actual things that were happening to me that needed to stop. It wasn't somebody else saying it for me. It wasn't someone else manipulating me into thinking those things. It was actual stuff that was happening. And while I was actually being harmed, Natalie was pretending like I would harm her. Pretending. There's people who should have come forward about the fact I was trying to get help. The problem is that their video games and entertainment time was more important to them than I was. I don't really get that entertainment time. The things that interest me, I don't have access to. The video games that I like to play that help me get my mind off of things, I don't have access to because my computer was stolen, and that does add a lot of stress to me. Now then there's building things. I love building things. With all of my tools gone, well, I don't get to do that either. Although at least now I have a place to do that, a place to work on it if I had those tools. My family, they screwed me over. That's a big issue for me. I did what my dad wanted there in Washington State, trying to get everything transferred up there, because if I got it all transferred up there, then my dad would help me how I needed. My dad would take a look at the evidence with me. Of course, after I did what my dad wanted, he turned into an even bigger asshole, and he did not keep his word. My dad hardly ever keeps his word. He's a selfish bastard. I want to thank James for being a reasonable human being about all of this, and for agreeing to speak with the police with me about it. Much like with Natalie, This is a situation that the police needed to be involved in a long time ago. It didn't need to be all over the internet. Now, Candace Bondurant and her mother, Lori Dale, these are two people that I'm not happy with. Now, Lori has always been a good person to me. Candace, not so much, but she tries. The problem is that Candace is selfish. The problem with Lori is that she didn't look at both sides before judging and before passing judgment. She passed judgment on me while I was in Clearview. And a lot of you know that Clearview is in a lot of trouble for doing to other people the things that they did to me. But somehow, magically, it's okay that they did those things to me. It's wrong of them to do it, but it's okay for them to do it to me. That's sick.